How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family. This is going to be a bit of a long video that y'all can see. Get your popcorn out, get your tea out. You know I like my grape juice with some ice and lemon. All right, my royal family. I was watching a video a few days ago on a channel called We Are the Gods. Lo and behold, who pops up? Brother Polight with his scamming ass. And I'm pissed off because he don't know when to fucking stop. And he gonna get some people hurt. He keep running these scams. Now, my royal family, anybody that's new to the true royal family, I have been a welder for 17 years. The only work I have ever done is construction. I know how to pour concrete. I know how to lay foundations. But what I'm certified in is I'm a certified welder. But when you are working in the world of construction, naturally, you're going to pick up other skills. Now, I'm not saying that I am prolific in these other trades that I am mentioning, but I'm good at some of it. I would make a horrible carpenter. I would make an excellent mason. I am a damn good welder. Y'all know, some of y'all know that my husband was a iron worker for 40 years. My father was a plumber and a pipe fitter. I don't know how many years. So anyway, naturally, I would know construction. And when you are working in any of your fields, you pick up on things real quickly when people don't know what the fuck they talking about. Now, anybody that works in construction, safety is a #1 issue. So we're going to keep that in mind. Everything y'all hear me saying, I'm going to come back to. All right? Now, what y'all are looking at here in the world of construction, we call these Connex boxes. All right? I'm going to say it again. We call these Connex boxes. I have never ever heard nobody call it any other name but Connex boxes. Now, in Connex boxes, you can store just about anything. Also, in Connex boxes, believe it or not, some of them actually are break rooms. You'll have a desk, but it'll be the type of desk you stand up to. You'll have your bench in there. You'll have your lockers in there and everything. And when I was working on the Bay Bridge, we had hundreds of them. And you would open up the metal doors, and then lo and behold, there would be a door within a door. It would be a metal glass door. So when you're looking at these boxes, you never know what is in them, depending on how they modify them. All right. But for the most part, these Connex boxes, they are, what I would put it, they are toxic. Even though what you see here on the outside is anti-rust paint, but they're pretty much toxic. And keep all that in mind. What I'm saying, I know what I'm talking about because I also took metallurgy classes too as well. So I know my trade. And you'll understand my level of irritation because we're going to watch a video. We're not going to watch this whole video, but I'm just tired of motherfuckers lying. So I think we're going to watch about 15 minutes of it because we're not going to watch this whole half an hour. But Polight is full of total shit. So this video came out on the 26th of this year. His ass happened to be in Ohio running scams. Now, my real family, as you are watching this video, pay attention to the terrain, pay attention to the job site, and also pay attention to the forked tongue. Now, I have a few people in here that subs to this channel that do work in construction, and they're going to fill in some things quickly once we get to popping. So, I already see a problem already, but I'm not going to mention it right away. All right, my real family? So, let's see how much of this bullshit we can stand. In fact, what I'll do, I'll play like maybe 5 minutes of it and stop and point out the obvious.
What's up, family? We up in here. We in Columbus, Ohio. With the king right here. We have our real estate company, our development company, making it happen. So right now we're working on a 26 unit project here in Columbus, Ohio. But the very unique thing about it is we're using cargo bins to build them. And we're going to explain the science behind that. And you're going to see what we're talking about. We're talking about cargo bins to build buildings. This is a pioneering venture. This is something that's not being done throughout America. You see these right here? We're using these giant cargo bins to build properties. Look at that. Yes. And what's happening is it's cutting the time. So literally, we can get the chassis of a property built inside of 5 to 8 days, in contrast to a month and a half to 2 months that it normally takes. The chassis, by chassis we mean framework. So we get the frame of a house done inside of 5 to 8 days because we're using these cargo bins that no one does anything with. No one knows what to do with these after the fish comes into the country, after the purses come into the country. These bins are huge, and then after they get used, they just stay there. They're not biodegradable, so because they're not biodegradable, they just stay here and take up space. So what we do, we recycle these bins and we create properties. And what it's doing, these bins cost us about $1,700 a bin. So we're cutting the cost of building a property by 70%. So we did a single family household, 2-3 family household. We're saving 70% of the money that it normally costs to develop those type of properties. So right now we're in talks on working and getting the investors to get a factory. However, we're contracted by the state to be able to get this popping. So take a look at this. This is powerful right here. This is real talk. And what we'll be doing is providing jobs. So stay tuned on here so we can let you know where to reach out. Matter of fact, you go to Young Phenom 45 for now, but we'll create an official email. For those of you that are neighboring or just can travel to Ohio, you need the bread. Jobs are going to be available for you. Starting at $15 an hour upward, jobs will be available to you. Okay? So, there's plenty of bread in this for everyone, especially if you're in the Ohio area and you need to make some money. Reach out. And housing. So this is the plan. This is the way we got to do this. Okay? This is the way we got to do this. We're going to put this together and provide an opportunity for you all to make your money. So, to build the property, come here real quick, my brother. Let's just talk this real talk. It'll cost like about $6,500 just to build the framework for a property. $6,500 just for the framework for the property. After that, it's just water and electric, basically.
That's all it is. HVAC.
$6,500. I hope you listen to what I'm saying. It'll cost $6,500 just to build a property as far as the framework is concerned using these bins. And this is not something we're talking about for the future. You actually see it, but we're going to give you a talk. We're in the newspaper for this. I wish I had the newspaper article. Do you got it in your phone or something? Okay, so we'll go across the street hopefully during the stream so we can show you how the news have picked it up. So now the state of Ohio has contracted us to put in pain. The banks is down, everybody's supporting now. So all we need is that factory, and it's gonna get ugly.
Real ugly.
But right now, this is a 26 unit that we're working on right now. And yes, the jobs will be provided, most important part. So my hands getting cold. We're about to get some work in, we're about to get some lighting done. So let's get it in. Of course, I'm with my Beanie Baby. Look at my Beanie Baby. She is definitely a Beanie Baby. Victoria Lamar. She got boots on the ground, getting it in.
Yeah.
Woo, thank you, my hands. Yes, this ain't Beverly Hills. No, I know. This is not Beverly Hills.
It's snowing too, y'all. You see it?
Oh, yeah.
You did.
Nice
You
and
said
warm.
yesterday it was good, but today it's going to be cold.
Oh, man. Definitely got cold.
Makes it all worth it. No, yeah. You need it too.
I like that, right? I'm good, though. I like this look. Probably when I get a little cold. That's love, though. My man, that was show love. Alright, so.
Come on, y'all. Have you learned how to bid?
We out here. Oh, come on. Leave the spades conversation alone for later. They said I should have skipped out of it. They were there for last night. Yo, we took on the championship last night. Don't ever get it twisted and think
We
we ain't
actually
working with
won.
each other. You know, we critique each other heavily, but
That's
we still put in pain.
All right?
Always remember that.
The dream team, all right?
Dream team. Flip the angle, baby.
Okay.
Make sure we give our brother Precise love and business. Yo, Precise, let them know where they can find you.
Precise Photos on Facebook.
Oh, this is a good brother. He's from out here, Columbus, Ohio. He's helping us do some film work. He's very professional, so we got him on deck to help us out as we're documenting what we're doing. But this doesn't stop, bro. Right? We got libraries on deck, right? We got residential properties on deck. It doesn't stop, and we're revolutionizing how to erect. We're revolutionizing how to erect these properties. And like I said, it's so cost efficient. This is $1 billion industry waiting to happen.
I didn't tell you they bought the church. The church sold out. They got this property right here they bought. This whole lot of it they bought. And 9 houses. I'll take you down this on this street right here. I'm thinking about where I'm going to chill for. Yeah. 9 houses on this street down here. We doing this right here. We doing this right here is next. So tearing down the church. They got this property in the
Next property right there. The church is going, we're building another property. So like I said, libraries, everything. But the thing is, no one can deny this because the cost efficiency. These are bins, these are stores, these are cargo containers. You feel me? These are some giant joints when the fish come into town, when the purses and pocketbooks and everything comes into town, they come in these giant cargo containers. But we now, as master masons, hint, hint, you know what I'm saying? We taking this to a whole nother level. A whole nother level. Like I said, a standardized house, you can build that up for like $6,500 on the strength of these containers. And it'll take 5 to 8 days. With a factory in place, it'll take 3 to 5 days. If we really have the highest technology on our end. If we just moving on a mundane level, like now, 8 days.
It's flood proof and waterproof.
Waterproof.
These bins get exported over the ocean.
200 miles an hour wind.
And 200 mile
200 mile an hour wind.
mile an hour winds.
More durable than the conventional approach towards erecting properties. More durable, more cost effective, more efficient, and it'll be built in real time. And you talking about we can go to Haiti, we can go to Puerto Rico, and we can build properties in real time for relief.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? We talking about relief. We talking about people who are on account to natural disasters and corruption by way of our government, but we don't have to go into that right now. But we should. But we talking about being able to, we talking about the restoration of communities that have been devastated by certain calamities, whereby people are displaced and dislodged on account of losing their homes.
Permanent housing.
Permanent housing from natural disasters and whatnot.
Yes.
Right.
So this
from
is
natural
why,
disasters and whatnot.
That's why I gotta holler at my man Puff. That's why I gotta connect with the brother Wyclef and them, because they're supporting and they're contributing to a lot of organizations when it comes to the development process. But let's not forget, companies like Red Cross and them, they've been collecting a lot of monies, you know, for relief for a lot of communities, and they've been misappropriating the funds. They haven't even really been helping the people they say they're going to help.
Right.
Haitians is one of the people that got sold out of their freaking money.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here it is, we got the real technology and the science. We can do it for at a cheaper rate and be way more effective in real time.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? If we do this shit in 8 days, imagine how we can just help people in real time. So when our brothers and sisters is donating money to causes, they got to donate towards things like this that make more sense. So trust me, when I get back home, we got some serious conversations. Go, but spread the word. Share it. Share it with them, matter of fact.
Yeah, keep sharing
When
this,
you get
y'all.
this Facebook, share it with those stars that you don't know. And share it with brothers and sisters as well that may be in real estate development. And definitely share it around for people who need jobs. Because from this, we talking real time. I'm talking today. Okay? I already employed 3 people. We got the brother who's an engineer on deck from North Carolina, I believe, Charlotte. So keep this in mind. We're providing jobs in real time because we got a whole bunch of projects.
Right.
So you go to Young Phenom 45. Young PHENOM 45 at gmail.com if you're interested in getting employment out here.
If you know anybody that's interested, it may not even be you
Yes, it
necessarily.
doesn't matter what state you're in or whatever. Because some of the work you can do from your state depending on what your craft or skill set is. You know, depending on what kind of engineer you are, or architect you are.
Keisha, you want to get involved? Go to Young Phenom 45.
That's right. Young Phenom 45
at
gmail.com. And especially if you're in the Cleveland, Ohio area, don't sit there saying that I need money and I need opportunity. Don't do that. And then sit around. Go to youngphenom45gmail.com. Leave your full name, leave your number. Leave your full name, leave your phone number, your city, state where you're from. Say, okay, I'm looking for some employment. And
your skill set as well.
You don't know about skill set.
That's how we get paid. We teach you the skills.
Yeah.
So
You get taught this, you get trained.
you have to be trained.
So long as you're trainable, you get money. So there's no excuse. We're providing the jobs in real time. We're actually on the site right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm invested into it, but I said I want to be part of it, hands-on, just to show you what it is, because seeing is knowing. But this is my man here. Him and my other brother, they spearhead technical aspects of the situation. They're the carpenters, they're the master masons.
Yeah.
The only reason I know how to do what I do is because they be schooling me. And whenever I invest in something, I want to be part of it. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, I want to be here because now it's taken to a whole nother level. We at a point where it's coming to so much fruition that you need to get involved in this early, ASAP. Stop trying to squeeze into those unions by these white folks, and you can't even really, you petitioning to get into their unions for years. It's like a dream, American dream for brothers to get into the union. And everybody else is getting killed out there, working some horrible hours. You brothers know. You brothers that know that you put on the boots and you put that work in and you construct, y'all know that it's very hard to get into
How
the
you
union.
doing with the unions?
Y'all know how hard it is to get into the union. This is a black business right here. I told you,
We are a union.
black conscious billionaire.
This is a union.
This is all black owned, black ran.
Right.
I'm going to be the first black conscious billionaire. I keep telling y'all that, so let's not play games.
There are enough pillars. Listen, these people that work on these things, these are masters. This is not. Oh, okay. Hands and craft. What is it called? What is it?
This is this is not Legos and shit. Like we got. Don't try to undermine
They know what they doing.
because you see black people doing it. Don't start trying to second guess it, because if you saw a bunch of white people walking around here building this stuff up, you wouldn't question the foundation and if we got enough pillars and everything. First of all, what you're not going to be able to understand is that we're approaching architecture and everything from a whole different perspective. Because let me tell you something about this situation.
I was about to say me.
Okay, so let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about the situation.
That's right.
First of all, this wasn't a work that happened overnight. This is something that's been taking place for years. And I'm going to tell you why it's been taking place for years. There's no template. There's no archetype. There was no prototype for how to do zoning. They didn't know how to charge us or how to tax us because cargo bins has never been used to build buildings before. So just to get this off the ground where we can find...
Okay, we're going to stop right there for a minute, my royal family. We played about 13 minutes of it. He's a lie. They've been using cargo bins for years, and I'm going to walk the royal family through it. So first and foremost, my royal family, I showed y'all the bins, which is called Connex boxes. Now, maybe they do call them something different in other states, but in the state of California, I've only ever heard of Connex boxes. So you're looking at that, what I showed from the beginning. And this is where he's lying. Now, for years, they have been using these, and he's basically saying that they don't have plans laid out how to do the modification on Connex boxes. Okay. Now, it is very expensive, my royal family, to um, do the modifications. Now, if you can muster up enough money to buy some, normally this is what you're going to see. So you see your standard Connex boxes right here, right? Okay. I'm going to point out some obvious things to the royal family. So let's go, let's see here. Let's look at this one. Okay, this is a Connex box. Okay. Now, the first one that you see, my royal family, had no windows. Okay, so they had to do modification cuts they had to modify, excuse me, to cut these windows out. Okay, you cannot do freehand. Anybody that's a welder, anybody that know how to use a torch know what I'm talking about. You have to go to the factory to get precision cuts. And you have to use an electric cutter, or sometimes they're even using laser beams to get precision cuts. Another thing, my royal family, is you have to get these things, because remember I said in the beginning they are contaminated. On the outside they have a anti-rust paint on it, and then the inside you don't know what they use because they're all over the world. And so when you're using Connex boxes all over the world, the standards change because they're making them different places. Now maybe here in the States they can't get away with using a lot of toxic stuff, but overall these boxes are toxic. So you have to bring them up to code in order to even live in them. It is more than a notion to buy some of these and just live in them. See these cuts right here? That's all factory. Now, some people will give you the illusion that it is cheap. No, not at all. And we'll look at a few pictures here. See here where they made some modifications. That's a lot of modifications there, right there. Usually this is pretty much the standard you're gonna see. Somebody just gonna get the door cut and that's it, because they expensive to get them up to code. And even with somebody in one like this, look like a little office or something like that, you can't just be inside of that and it's toxic. Then you have to, depending on which ones you get, because some of them do have it set up where it's already electricity already modified in it. Because in the beginning I said some of them, believe it or not, are break rooms that they use on job sites out in the middle of nowhere and stuff. So you always have to look at this stuff in plain sight. Even as something as simple as this. You see, I can tell right here they spent as little money as possible. They had a couple of windows cut out at the factory. They had a door cut out, some windows cut out here on the top, and they kept it moving. You have one right here. All of this had to be cut out in order to get it that way. And Brother Polight is lying through his fucking teeth. And that's something that pisses me off about a motherfucker when they don't know what they talking about, running smoke up the royal family's ass like this is some innovative shit and this ain't never been done. Now, this is the extreme. You got to have coins to do this. You have to have coins. You really do. It's more than a notion. See this right here? This came straight out the factory. I know what I'm looking at. The cuts have been already done, and all they have to do is just put in the molding, the glass, and all that type of stuff like that. Now, here is a welder here, and they're doing some framing. So in my field, yeah, I would be able to weld certain things on there, but I can't make precision cuts like this. Okay, so I think I have drove that part in the ground. Now, let's go over here to the next part. This motherfucker is on a job site. Nobody got on no hard hats. Nobody got on no safety glasses. Nobody got on no safety vests. Nobody got on no safety belts with a unquote D-ring, and you'll understand because I'm gonna play the rest of this video and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Now, what y'all were looking at, my royal family, when they started playing that video, they're on a job site on an early Sunday morning. It looks like the one brother there looks like he possibly works there because he had some unquote gargles, and his work suit, which is an insulated one, looked wore out. Now the one that Polight and his old lady was wearing looked brand new, and they had on the right boots and stuff. But let's just say this: you don't have to wear the vest, but you should wear the vest, and I'll tell you that in a minute. Anytime you step on a job site, if you value yourself, you want to make sure that at least your head, your feet, and eyes are fully protected. Now, another game that we play on the job site to make it look like we working when they doing filming like that, we'll have somebody to go in the back of a building and do some banging. Y'all was hearing that. Ain't nobody working on this job. And then the job in my world is already done. The pillars are up, the Connex boxes is up, and now all it takes is for carpenters, electricians to come in and do the in-house work. And then you have the people to come in and do the sheetrock work, and they will do the sheetrock and do all their work. So all the heavy part been done, and then the other part, once they get done, is they will have to regrade the land so you can make sure everything is laid out properly, because you know you're going to drive cars there, you're going to have parking lots there and everything. So in the world of construction, it's done. It's done. I've seen drainage ditches and everything. I know my field. So this motherfucker goes on a job site with no safety, nothing. So let's continue on, my royal family. Listen to this bullshit.
Be legitimized and have the right to build property at this level did not happen overnight. We talking, this didn't happen over 1 year, over 2 years, over 3 years, over 4 years. It was always a pitfall every step of the way. And the reason why it was a pitfall every step of the way, because like I said, we're not following the conventional approach towards building buildings. So if you're sitting there saying this needs this and this needs that,
okay, you see the drainage ditch right there behind you, my royal family? Just want you to pay attention.
Talking about the old paradigm. You're talking about the old approach to what.
Okay, you see behind him, the piping is already done, the plumbing and everything is already done. This job is pretty much done, my royal family.
Architecture, you're talking about the old approach towards erecting buildings. Like I said, you show me anyone that can compete with our ability to build up the framework for a house inside of 8 days. Come on, this is a 26 property complex. Let's hit it.
Right, we on. It sure is the future, y'all. It's not. It's right now.
Okay, now Polight's dumbass is getting ready to get on a man lift. Now let me school y'all on man lifts, because somebody gonna say something that have a little construction knowledge. These are man lifts, scissor lifts. You know, we got different names that we use in the world of construction. So when you're looking at these unquote lifts, every picture that you're going to see, damn near, if somebody is in it, they have on a safety harness. They have on a safety harness. That's too far. Okay, you see that closely. They got on a safety harness. And the argument that people will use, and I have the same argument too, is why would I get in a man lift, click my D-ring on it, because these things are very bouncy and it's subject to fall. Well, really what you're supposed to do is get to where you got to get it up against a solid foundation and block it. And then you must be hooked off on it. That's Cal OSHA rules. Now, Cal OSHA is basically saying once you get to your designated point, you take your D-ring and wherever you're going to work off on, you unhook it from the basket and you put it to the actual work, or they'll use these cables that they put up and stuff. So that's just Cal OSHA rules. That is a must that you have to wear them. So this motherfucker gets up on here and stuff, and this is the safety harness. That is sort of a D-ring. I'll show y'all a D-ring right here. These are D-rings right here. They come in various sizes, and these right here will save your life. So anyway, let's continue on, my royal family. Now he gonna be scared when he get up in this bitch, but he always got an answer for shit.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Yeah. So right now,
Oh, shoot.
you want to get me?
I should go to the other side because he won't be there. Okay. Oh crap.
Yeah.
The
So right
future,
now,
the right now.
right now we about to get these lights on up in here.
We're going to the third floor of this.
We going to the third floor on this. I'm gonna control some of the narrative and shit.
That's right, Christopher. The future is now.
Watch yourself, my brother.
Right.
Now with Zoom, you don't have to compromise. Get the perfect.
So while that commercial is playing, I just want the royal family to pay attention to the plumbing that's done underneath too as well. All right, let's continue on.
Faster than Zoom. Now it.
Yeah. Some more.
So you see, hit the gas. This is the gas right here. You're gonna hit this, you're gonna hold this before you make any decisions. You're gonna lift this up. You wanna come closer, guard? So before you do whatever you do, you're gonna put your foot on the gas right here. Boom. Now when you do that, you're gonna lift this mechanism up. Boom. And this is gonna change the wheels. If you look at the wheels over there.
That's right, Devin.
Okay. See the wheels changing? So right now I'm using this handle. I'm pushing the top of this handle to control the wheels. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm lifting it up still. It's like a video game. And I'm gonna pull this back to the side. Alright, watch yourself, my brother. Now, if I wanted to go up, I'll push this upward. If I want to go up, I'll go like this. Boom. Go all the way up there. Look at that. Be all the way up. My New York shit. When I come back in my man, he gonna do the wiring.
And you do not gas it when you're moving up. The only time that you gas it is when you're moving around the job site.
Super electrician right here.
Save money and help local business.
So my royal family, got a little bit more of this video to play and then we're gonna stop.
Super electrician right here. Middle. Master of all trades.
Okay, I'm here. I'm right here. All right.
Locked in. Yeah, we good one. So, like I said, we're on a freaking grind. Ain't no revolution if you don't know how to build your own home. Y'all gotta really get it in. Like I said, we wanna build schools and we wanna build institutions. We better be the ones that know how to build it. Otherwise, we're gonna have to keep paying other people to do our job. Not only do we know how to build it, we build it better than the average person. Y'all better stay in tune with this information. This is knowledge in real time. Like I said, you ain't gonna see no one in the country using cargo bins. No one in the country is using cargo bins to build buildings. And we're cutting the cost of real estate by 70%. Walk with me. So much so that the state of Ohio has to contract. Facts. Remember the last time I came out here, I got an award at City Hall by the mayor and the councilman for my philanthropy and activity in Ohio. It don't stop, man. TJ Dow, Councilman TJ Dow's one. They gave me the proclamation for my philanthropy, my lectures, feeding the homeless, which we'll be doing tomorrow. We'll be feeding the homeless vegan food tomorrow. So I'll put out the information so you can email me if you're from Ohio, so you can get up with us so we can feed the homeless and clothe them, because it's cold. So we're not just gonna give them food, we gotta make sure we can give them some coats and some sweaters.
Hey man, it ain't cold. It's freezing out here.
It's freezing out here. It's freezing. That's a
Yes,
fact.
it is.
We out here.
They asking about
What they asked about?
harnesses and safety.
Harnesses for safety.
If we got a harness and it falls over,
They questioned everything.
then we're going to the ground. We have a harness on and it tips over.
Right.
We cannot exit the bucket.
That's
Where
a
we
fact.
gonna go?
Snap on that.
Snap our neck.
You know, they know.
Okay, that's the end of that, my royal family. Somebody had a watchful eye out there and they asked about the safety issues. And like I said, most people in the world of construction, if they are on a man lift, no, they do not want to wear the unquote safety harness while they're on there, but it's Cal OSHA rules. And their thinking, again, my royal family, is that you're going to get to the point of work and then you're going to unhook your D-ring and hook it to the actual structure that you are going to work on. And the other part I wanted to point out to the royal family is that they was all on that job with no hard hats, no vests, or no safety glasses. Now, the point of wearing a safety vest is because, say you get buried and somebody got to dig you up, they have to be able to see something because they don't want to rip your body apart. Polight play too many fucking games. And this shit has been done before. And some people say it's cheap, but it's not cheap because you got to make modifications. You got to bring it up to code. And a lot of times these boxes, because they're used just for storage containers to get to point A to point B, are hazardous. They just use whatever they can use in them pretty much overall. So it's just more than a notion to grab one of these and say, I'm going to put a house in it. And then you have to even think, then the fire department get in. You got all these different inspectors that come in, and you got to have a way out. You got to have a way out the front or the back. Now, what they will let you do on the modification is they will let you have a number of windows, and that can be considered a way out if there is a fire. You're not going to have just one way out. So the last part I want to add, they on a job on an early Sunday morning bullshitting. Just bullshitting. So anyway, my royal family, this was pretty much a level of my irritation. I'm tired of his fucking mouth. You would think he would stop with his scamming, but a con man and a scammer is always coming up with shit. And he done learned a couple of little things and watched a couple of little videos, and he running his motherfucking mouth, and he talking about this ain't never been done. Well, you're looking at it. So anyway, my royal family, do what you do best. Render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for, excuse me, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.